Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okelo, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode of the African Father in America podcast. My name is Simon Javan Okelo. I am in Seattle, Washington, and I am the host of the African Father in America podcast. We do this Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and this is never possible alone. We do this really because of the blessing and the time of our friends and our guests like Chioma Sheri, who is joining me today. And Chioma joins me every Wednesday for this special session that is primarily around poetry. So Wednesdays, our focus is poetry. We center the beauty of, the spoken word. So, Chioma is a gifted writer and poet and, just a wonderful sister of many talents. Chioma, how are you doing today?
I am pretty good. I'm tired, but good. Tired, but good and grateful.
Yeah. Well, I'm just happy that you made the time for us to gather here again today, as we do every Wednesday, and also as we do Monday to Friday with those that follow the daily African Proverbs consistently. As I was saying earlier, we do this every Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you are listening on Clubhouse, make sure you follow the African Father in America Club, and also just share the link to this conversation at this early stage of the beginning of our conversation today. And I see that we've been joined already by Simply E. I also see that Bibi has joined us, and Lavender and Chimere. But I particularly just want to give Bibi, I want to give Simply E space to say hello and to let you all know how you can participate even in a deeper way during our conversation today. Simply E, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Grand Rising. And hi, everybody. Yeah, I think it's awesome that we're able to actually give voice to the conversation in this space on Clubhouse. So if you're so inclined and you want to make sure that you're heard, or you want to give a little input on today's topic, come into the Clubhouse side of things and raise your hand. And you definitely want to make sure that you join the club so you can see other conversations that pop up that are related as well. If you're on the YouTube side, put a comment in there, and you definitely want to subscribe. And so I think it's just pretty dope. And I always say this, that you're able to communicate however it is that you feel most comfortable. Comfortability is a good thing. And also in this space, if you've got friends that you know would also enjoy the inclusion of the space, and also how much impact happens after reading these proverbs, then ping them into the space on Clubhouse and forward the conversations in other spaces as well. So welcome to African Father in America. And we are definitely listening to today's African proverb and speaking on it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Simply E. So today we are going to start with this incredible Chad proverb that says, laughter is a language that everyone understands. This is true because if you think about it, the Chinese laugh, the Indians laugh, the Africans in Africa laughed, the Africans in America laugh. And, the indigenous people laugh. Everybody laughs. Children laugh. Adults laugh, But I think the difference is, why are you laughing? What are you laughing about? And what is laughter doing for you and the people around you, I remember last night before bed, I was just laughing. And my wife was like, why are you laughing? And I was like, I'm just happy, I'm just laughing, I'm just happy. She was, you're crazy. And then, I just feel like laughter is also something that helps break silence. It helps break, tension in conversations, So, no matter which culture you are from, laughter is a language that really, even if you don't understand what people are saying and you laughed, they would actually pay attention to you and want to know why you're laughing. So laughter is very, very powerful. And I want to share just 3 takeaways quickly. And then I'm going to share some of the things that we are going to discuss with our special guest today. Number 1, laughter. These are the takeaways, and we share this at the beginning of our conversation every single day. Number 1 is that laughter is one of the most powerful tools we have for healing. Number 2, laughter can help us release stress and tension, both physically and emotionally. And then number 3, laughter helps us connect with other people and it strengthens our relationships. Laughter helps us connect with other people and strengthens our relationships. So while you think about those, I want to share that our special guest today is going to, share with us their own interpretation of today's proverb, and then a special poem that she was, inspired to create because of this proverb. And then we are going to talk about, a few examples of how laughter can be a source of healing as well. And then from there, we want to hear from you, our audience members. And then Chioma is going to reflect on everything that she hears. So with that, I want to again welcome you to share the link to the room and also share the link on other platforms. Now to you, Chioma, when you think about this amazing Chadian proverb, laughter is a language everyone understands. What is it that comes to your mind? Share with us, please.
Well, I have to say, I feel like you hit on so much in your share, so much that I agree on. But some of the things that came up for me is that like laughter is a shared language. When people hear laughter, they kind of have a sense of like what someone may be feeling or what's happening. And I know for me, depending on people's laughter, sometimes, like if I hear someone laughing in the distance, I can start laughing too. It's just, and I might not know why they're laughing, but I'll start laughing too. Um, I said similar to you, like laughter sort of breaks the ice. And I think it can bring us back to our humanness sometimes. I said laughter, the thing about laughter is that when true laughter is unpredictable and uncontrollable. So it just kind of like comes from this place. So when I compare it to like words, thinking of words, like we can construct words and we have to think about words. We think about words oftentimes, but laughter is this thing that just comes up. You know what I mean? Like when I'm really laughing, it's just like I can't control it. It literally just comes out of nowhere. I'm not like constructing it or something. So I think that's something really beautiful about it. I just feel like it comes from a really true place. Um, and I said, I also think of like when you share laughter with someone else, just kind of like noticing what it does to them and like in their body, like people, they shake a little bit, they smile. So I do also connect it to being a source of healing as well. So those are just some of the thoughts that came to my mind right away.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. As you are saying that, laughter is authentically, you can't control it, once it takes over you, and it reminded me also of other animals that laugh, like the hyena, growing up.
It's so funny because some people say I laugh like a hyena.
Is that true? That's really funny. But listen, growing up, I used to visit my grandmother, and there were hyenas nearby at night, and so she used to tell us, when they were crying, and also when they were laughing, and when they were laughing, they were not you could not control it, and sometimes we would also laugh. We would find it funny, because she was like, oh, those ones are very happy hyenas, I wonder what is going on near them. So I wonder what other animals laugh. I wonder if somebody else in the room knows, but I'm curious now that I'm talking about hyenas laughter, and you're saying that somebody says that you laugh like an
I know
hyena.
people have said that in my lifetime. Like when you hear me laugh fully, oh yeah, people say I've laughed like a hyena.
I've seen you laugh fully once, and it was infectious. It was infectious. So to every beautiful human being who is listening to us or watching us right now, thank you so much. You've joined us for the Daily African Proverbs, and we are live and direct on YouTube. We are also on this social audio app. It's a drop-in audio app called Clubhouse, for those who are not familiar. And we have a friend there called Simply E, who is going to be, helping us with today's conversation, helping facilitate and engage. So you'll hear her voice in a moment, and then later on you'll hear many other voices of our contributors today who are on stage. I thank you so much, and I want to encourage everyone on the Clubhouse side. Please make sure you're pinging people into the room, 3 to 5 people. I also want to see that we are sharing, the room. I want to see the numbers going up from 3 to at least 10, because we are around 10 people in the room. Now I want to go into, when you think about this proverb that we're discussing today, laughter is a language everyone understands. Chioma, you shared with us what it means to you. But, I want you to also speak a little bit about a poem that you created as a result of this proverb.
Okay, all right. So I created a tanka, and then I was playing around with like making other pieces with it. So a tanka is basically 5. So it's almost a haiku, but not. So it has the first 5, 7, 5. And then the last 2 lines are 7, 7. So it's 5, 7, 5, 7, 7. So yes, I will read you that one, and then I'll read you the second one. And I was playing around with the third one, but I'll just read you the first 2. They're pretty similar. All right. Your laughter reached me before your words ever did. A language I knew and didn't have to translate. It's still our resting place. The second one. Your laughter reached me like sunshine in the morning, a language I knew and didn't have to translate. It was our resting place. And that's all.
I love it. I love how you ended with, it is our resting place. I feel like at the end of really laughing, you feel relieved.
Mm-hmm.
You feel rested,
You do.
Yeah. Simply E, what did you think of these 2 pieces?
Yeah, I think especially on the second one, I have to agree with you about the line about landing there. I think that's like a piece of wisdom right there. Because you can end on that note. That's a good note to end on, right? Everybody, when you're communicating with someone, it always feels good to end on a happy note, right? Even if you call someone over the phone and you say you want the good news or the bad news, you hope to end up on that conversation where you can give them the good news last. And so I think that's the answer to that, right? If the good news last is closing on a note of laughter, I think that's a beautiful sentiment. So yeah, thank you for that reflection.
Thank you, Simply.
Wonderful. Thank you also, Simply E. And Chioma, thank you again for those beautiful pieces. Every time we connect for this session, I learn new types of poems, and also the length and everything. So I just appreciate you sharing with us, You say this one is not an haiku, the two pieces.
It's a tanka. So
Tanka.
them are it's a tanka. So it's
Okay.
57577.
57577. What does that mean for someone who does not know like me?
Okay, so it means that so the first line will have 5 syllables, the second 7, the third 5, and the last two 7.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, when you think about laughter, we have comedians. I have friends who are comedians. I have one particular friend who is a comedian. He's actually hosting Madaraka Festival. His name is General Mutombo. And he's also a podcaster. He hosts a podcast called the African Exilist Podcast. He's so funny. Like every sentence he speaks is laughter, And, African comedy is so different with American comedy, or like white people don't understand our comedy very well. Or they don't appreciate it fully, but he's finding a way to bridge this gap. And literally every meeting I'm with him is just throwing jokes and everybody's just laughing, So I always feel like he is such an example of how laughter actually heals. There are certain words that when you hear, they wound you, they break your heart. And then you hear laughter, you feel like you're taking painkillers and you're feeling better immediately. And, I wanted you to share with us, Chioma, maybe a couple of examples of how specific stories of how you felt that laughter was a source of healing for you in the past.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like it's just not just in the past, just now and like throughout life, like moments when I have a time of laughter, I do notice a sense of feeling better. I know at work I was like stressed out one time, and I remember speaking to a coworker who we're not like really really tight, but he's cool and he's very funny. And we just had like I just found myself like laughing so much, and I felt like in that moment it kind of like connected us more, broke down some walls, and just also made what I was doing easier, and what he was explaining to me easier. So that's kind of like one thing that I think about recently. Because I was just like, wow, I really noticed the difference that like laughter made in that moment. But the thing is, I thought about when I'm thinking about this proverb, I also thought about comedians, and I also thought about how knowing the context of like laughter. Because sometimes if laughter is heard in a certain context, it could be taken out of place. And I also thought about like social media. Social media is all about everyone's trying to make something funny, trying to be funny. And I think sometimes there has to be somewhat of like a balance of, for me, like I know I probably haven't been like taken in laughter enough, finding moments to like laugh enough, so I'm going to definitely look into that for just some of my healing. But like I know too, like the saying like laugh to keep from crying, that like sometimes people can consume so much just funny things to sort of like avoid the reality of things that's happening. So those are just some of the things that I came up. So yes, I see it as a source of healing and something that I need to like probably tap into some more, because I've just been so these days. But I also think people should notice like the underlying things of I guess what they're um when people sort of consume things or like seek certain things out, they should understand like the underlying reason as to like why they're doing those things, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense to you.
It does. It does.
Okay,
It does.
cool.
And the other thing I was thinking about as you are speaking is that quite a few people quite a few people always think that you can easily laugh when you're tipsy. You can easily laugh when you're high. You can easily laugh when you're under the influence of something. So,
I mean, you can't
you see, now you're laughing. You're under the influence of my words. But many employers actually, they organize employee parties and they get people drunk and they're like, get loose, get loose, get loose,
Yeah.
And people
It's
get
kind of
loose.
setting or this thing to create some sense of like ease, but sometimes that can take away from like the, I guess, like the realness or the authenticity when you're like taking in things. So that was a really interesting thing you brought up, Simon. I like that.
Yeah, it's true, it's true. But the thing is, if you are if you're yourself, you actually find that laughter is something you do almost every hour, almost every 30 minutes. I spend a lot of time with my kids, and this is because I'm a full-time father too. Outside of everything else I do, I'm a full-time father, and sometimes I just find one of them in a corner dancing, trying new moves, and then laughing at themselves. And then I'm like, oh, that's what I need to be doing. Because I was just on my laptop grinding, and then I hear music, I hear laughter, then I'm like, that's where I want to go. Then I kind of sneak into the scene and I watch, I'm like, oh, wow, that's what I need to be doing. So then I join them and they're like, no, you're spoiling it. Just go back to your stressful world. But then they see that, oh, if he leaves, he's going to be sad. He needs to share in some of these joyful moments. So laughter is something that is infectious. The people who give it, they want to share it. But the people who receive it, they end up sharing it with other people. Because if it's one person laughing, it's smaller. But if it's three people laughing, imagine being in a comedy hall and there are 100 people laughing, it's such a powerful thing. You never forget such things, I just wanted that to breathe. Everything I say to breathe before I begin the next part of our conversation. I'm just excited to be here with you all. And I want to invite our guest to take a few notes as we listen to everyone else who is joining us today on the stage, on Clubhouse. If you're joining us on YouTube, thank you so much. Remember to subscribe to the channel and also give this video a thumbs up, if you appreciate the content that you're listening to. For now, I want to come to you, Simply E, so that you can also share your perspectives on laughter, maybe share some tips when it comes to laughter, what's the value of it, but also speak to where you're joining us from and your interpretation of this proverb. Laughter is a language everyone understands.
I think laughter has great value because, it can actually be a bridge to bring people together, of course. And it doesn't, like we were saying earlier, it doesn't matter at that point who you are, where you come from, what you look like, or anything like that. Because if people are laughing, they're already acknowledging that they see that we're on the same page, even if just for a moment, that we agree that this is something that brings us joy, or something that is bringing a highlight to the day or to the moment. And so I think the bigger transcendence of that is the language within the laugh, right? That says, we agree right now in this moment, right here. And it's an opportunity to start building from there into something else. I mean, how many times have you had a conversation behind laughing, and it's like a doorway? So I think it's a pretty awesome thing to look at. I never thought about it actually until today with this African proverb. I'm joining you today from Tennessee. If there are some folks who are in Louisiana in a few weeks, I'll be joining you from there. And I'll be spreading the word while I'm there as well to see, what kind of friends we can get to join us as well. But yeah, I'm smiling today within this and listening to see what I can laugh about and with whom. I think this is a great African proverb.
Thank you so much, Simply E. One of the things that fascinate me when I listen to where people are joining us from is this imagination and this idea that one day I'll actually visit these places. One day I'll be doing DAP from those places, and traveling is as important as laughter. So I hope we get one proverb about traveling so that we can talk about traveling, but also really every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have the Travel in Africa conversations led by Lavender in the One Vibe Africa Club. So join us there. Lavender is the next speaker on the stage. Feel free to speak about the Travel in Africa, event, and then speak to the meaning of this proverb. Laughter is a language everyone understands. Thank you again for making the time and for being here with us today. Oh, I can't hear you. We will come back to you in a moment. Because I can't hear you completely. Now we'll go to Bibi. Bibi, how are you doing? And oh, there you are.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Oh, great. Thank you, Simon.
Yeah, Lavender, we lost you again. I think it's your earpiece, your headphones. If you push it all the way in, it will stay. There you are. And we will hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank you, Simon, for having me in the room. And thank you, everyone, so much for always joining us. Chioma, you're so much appreciated. This is Lavender. I'm from Kenya. I'm speaking from Seattle. And about today's proverb, laughter is a language everyone understands. When I hear this proverb, what comes to mind is there's so much going on in the world today, and what I want around me is people who make me laugh or people who make me smile. Other than that, I can do that myself, but from the outside, if you're coming around me, come with some good energy. Otherwise, stay away. And I don't know if any of you have come across a stranger and smiled and didn't get a smile back. Most of the time, you'll always get a smile back. So let's keep smiling. About today's Travel in Africa room, we have a conversation about traveling in Africa. We're encouraging those who want to visit Africa and promoting traveling in Africa. We also organize packages for those who want to visit any part of Africa. Uh, you can reach out to us, myself, Simon. You can inbox Stella as well when you have any questions regarding traveling to Africa. Our room today will be talking about essential planning questions you should ask yourself when preparing for your traveling or your trip to Africa. Thank you, Simon. This is Lavender, and I'm complete.
Asante sana. Thank you, Lavender. And welcome, Nikki Dare. I see you. Nice to see you here. It means a lot that you took the time to join us. And I also see Roger. I see Sharon. Sharon, that's your people, Chioma, right? Great.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, then I see Atieno and Fred and Shimere, and we're just about to listen to Bibi and Brother and Debbie and Stella and Kay. It means a lot that you've all taken your time to join us for this 1 hour of the Daily African Proverbs. Our topic today is around this idea that laughter is a language everyone understands, and we've been learning about it, especially through this African proverb that says, actually, it says exactly that laughter is a language that everybody understands. It's a Chad proverb, and we've listened to a poem from our special guest today that is in alignment with today's topic. We've listened to different contributions, and we want to continue learning from each one of you. If there's someone that you'd like to join us on Clubhouse for this conversation, please go ahead and ping them, share the room. We're at 6. I would love to see it at around 15 or so. And then clip these nuggets that you're getting from this conversation and tweet them, and we will be able to retweet it. Now I want to hear from you, Bibi. Bibi, you're one of the biggest supporters of this conversation, and I truly, truly appreciate you. Share with us where you're joining us from and what today's proverb means to you.
Good morning, everyone in the US soil, and good afternoon to everybody else. Thank you, Simon. I'm actually in Tennessee now. I think this is my permanent place right now until we decide to move somewhere else. But as of right now, this is where I am, and I love today's proverb, and it just the first thing that came to my mind was communication. That laughter is another form of communication, and I remember growing up, I used to laugh a lot, and I laugh. My laughter changes according to my mood. And I used to laugh instead of crying. I remember when I was in labor with my first son, I was in so much pain, but I busted out laughing, and I just couldn't help it. And I realized that I didn't know what caused it, but I realized that I guess instead of crying, I chose to laugh. And that comes to a lot of my pains. I used to use laughter for them as well. And in the village, I remember that laughter can be used as a warning, not just warning, but as a sign of happiness, and also to provoke people. Some people provoke people with laughter because they have a certain way of laughing that will get under your skin, and you'll be provoked. So I just wanted to share that in there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bibi. I love that. I love how you literally turned your pain into you took your laughter and used it for healing your pain. It reminded me of a time when I used to work in South Nyanza. South Nyanza is right on Lake Victoria, but it's very close to Rusinga Island, where some of the earliest human remains were found. If you look up Rusinga Island, you'll be able to learn a little more. But there was this elder. He was old. He didn't have most of his teeth actually, but whenever I arrived at the project site, every weekend I would go back to Kisumu, my hometown, and then early morning on Monday I would be back. But by Tuesday afternoon he would show up, sometime by himself, sometime with a child next to him, sometime with another elder. But I had to narrate to him how my journey was to Kisumu and how my journey back was, how everything was. But after every question, he would burst out laughing. And, with all his teeth gone, he used to laugh loud, like he enjoyed laughing. And just thinking about how some, we would finish our conversation and then he would tell me exactly what he needed. That, what? I haven't eaten for 3 days. But he was just laughing a minute ago. And I'm like, wow, are you struggling that much and you're this happy? But then I realized that, this man is my friend, and even now when I go back to, that area, he's one of the people I always ask about, where is he? And when I meet him, the first thing is, how was your journey? And then the next thing is laughter, So that's how he heals me. That's how I feel like I have an elder like that in my life, not just for friendship or for us to exchange what we have, but to just laugh together. He's someone that I look for him so that I can just laugh together with him, because there's no judgment. There's no judgment. Anyway, brother, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. And thank you to Stacy and Acham and everyone and Royal who just joined us. Remember to, go ahead and ping in 3 to 5 people to join us for today's conversation. My special guest is Chioma Sheri, an amazing poet, writer, and a creator. So, tap in with us on YouTube if you want to see our beautiful faces. Brother, how are you doing? And what does today's proverb mean to you? And where are you joining us from?
Peace and love, family. All is well. I'm checking in from the North Carolina territory. And as always, beautiful conversation having with the family this morning. And when I hear the proverb, one of the things that comes to mind is, and it's echoing something that Chioma said, is, laughter is contagious. Sometimes, like you said, just like when somebody come in the room and yawn around you, next thing you know, you yawning. It's the same thing with laughter. Somebody start laughing a lot of times, it triggers something in everybody. And the reason I personally think laughter is so healing, because, when you are laughing, it's something that's vibrating within you, and it's touching a space that you can't get to physically, but it is being vibrated through the laughter. And another point that I would like to make is, as far as the comedian aspect, a lot of times laughter, like, I don't know if you're familiar with Mary Poppins, but she had this one song. It's sometimes you need a teaspoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down. And a lot of times comedians use laughter as the sugar, so to speak, the sweetener, or soften certain social issues. Like Dave Chappelle is one who's real good at it. He uses jokes and touches and brings forth things that need to be spoke upon, but he does it in a way that's comical, so it's received in a positive, opposed to everyone just focusing on the negative aspect of it. And the third and final point I make is, when we all come in the world as babies, two things, baby don't know how to talk or do nothing, but a baby can cry and a baby can laugh. And that's just, it's good that when we learn how to, laugh or find the things to laugh about, opposed to find the things to be mad or cry about. So I'm going to park my plane right there. Peace and love, Brother Earth.
Peace and love to you, Brother Earth. I love that. Find the things to laugh about instead of finding things to cry about. I love that. Let's continue listening in. We want to end promptly at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we want to go to Debbie. Debbie, how are you doing today, and what are your perspectives on today's proverb, and where are you joining us from?
I'm doing great, thank you. Debbie Berlin, Game Dev Debbie. Love and appreciation to all joining from Maryland, D.C. Have to co-sign what was said, since Dave Chappelle is from D.C. He's a fantastic comedian. And I was so inspired by our talk that I wrote a poem about everything that was said. So here we go. I feel tears coming to my eyes. That's the time that I must realize. Hear what Bob told me. Woman, no cry. Laughter is a relief.
Hi, Debbie.
Breathe.
Debbie, this is Simon. Come closer to your mic. We are missing a lot of these gems that you are dropping on us. Just get closer to your mic.
Oh dear, what can I do differently? Okay, I have AirPods in. Testing 1, 2, 3.
It's perfect.
Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, let's
He's
try this again. Debbie Berlin, Game Debbie, Maryland, DC, where Dave Chappelle comes from. I just wrote this poem inspired by the talk. Here we go, part 2. When I feel tears coming to my eyes, the time that I must realize. Hear what Bob told me. No woman, no cry. Laughter is a relief, helps us breathe with ease. Feel it in your belly, not in your knees. Do you know a joke? Tell me. I'll laugh, you laugh in twos and threes. Grandma said many times in the past, what me must do? Me must cry? No, sir. Mafala. Laughter, as they say, is the best medicine. So come on, everybody. Let's get some laughter in. Thank you.
You're most welcome. I love it. I love it. I love it, Debbie. you know,
You bring me
you're one
laughter.
of the people that I would love. If I was well off, I would send you like a mic package and headset so that you could literally start podcasting and sharing with us all your all your ideas in STEM, but also all your ideas in poetry. We have so much to offer when it comes to talent, and I feel that we just need more microphones close enough that when you wake up like Chioma, you can just do your thing, record it and then move on, record it and push it to the world and move on. That's how these proverbs actually spread around the world. One person taught the other a lesson through these proverbs, and that person taught another person, and another person taught another person, and it stuck. A lot of these proverbs actually also change. There are very many aspects of them that change in their life. As they evolve from one person to another, they change. But if they're recorded like we're recording them through these conversations, they actually are preserved in their original state or close enough. But really, for me, the biggest experience that I enjoy in being here together with you all is just the feeling of being around the village fire and having a conversation, one person, speaking, everybody else listening, and stories being shared and wisdom being shared. You don't get that every day. So I deeply appreciate you all for making the time. And I want to introduce Stella, who is also one of the people who are making this happen, working really, really hard. How are you doing, Stella? And what are your perspectives on today's proverb? And any comments on the conversation with Chioma is also welcome.
Thank you, Simon. Hello, everyone. This is Stella from Kenya, and I'm just laughing because this proverb it's a good one. In Luo, we say lakchogo, and then it's not just how people say it. It's how you say lakchogo, and then if you're in a group, everyone goes like, hey, 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 hoo, hoo. It's so funny. But otherwise, the proverb reminds me of my dad used to have this signature laugh. Like you would start laughing out so loud at once, and then it would go silent, like he's holding his breath. And if you're having a conversation with him, you have to wait fast for him to finish laughing, because it's like he was laughing in steps. Like there was a step 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you just find yourself joining him in the laugh, and then you would go silent for a moment, and then you would pick it up again, and then you would go up so loud again, and it was just funny. So you would laugh until you even forget what you were talking about. And I used to really enjoy that. Uh, Again, it's just funny how Kenyans always make fun of situations, especially when things are thick. Like there was a time that prices were just shooting so high, like every week, especially fuel. And then there are comedians who just make fun of it and people just forget about the pain that life continues. So yeah, I agree with the proverb. Laughter is good for healing. It has like a healing power, and laughter is actually good. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I love laughing in steps. I love laughing in steps. I have so many stories to tell about laughter and I need to be controlled somehow. So I'll stop this one. I'll stop this one, but there's a story I'll share if we have time. If we have time. Now I want to first of all give a big shout out to Rushi, who is joining us on YouTube. My brother Rushi has been supporting this conversation really consistently. So thank you for all your comments. I just want to read a couple. I see one that you're saying here that you love Debbie and laughter, and you love Debbie, and she's a ball of love, laughter, and goodness. I see that. And then I also see a number of comments. I see people laughing actually in the comments, so that's really good. I see the laughing emojis. Chioma, pick one comment that you want to, share. Maybe from FSB, Freddy. Freddy is also both on Clubhouse and YouTube. Freddy, thank you again, Fred. Thank you for being here with us and really for your consistent support. I'll let Chioma pick one and comment on before we continue.
Cheat and pick two. So Rishi said, laugh now, cry later. And Fred said, I love making people laugh in the hospital. They can be hurting and pain. I make them laugh. I guess I make them laugh the hurt away, I think. Yeah, I think that's how I'm interpreting the comments. But yeah, I like that a lot.
Excellent. So we have two more contributors on the stage here. Kay, how are you? And Royal, how are you? I want to hear from Kay just briefly, and then Royal. Share with us where you're joining us from and what today's proverb from Chad means to you. The proverb is really, really incredible. It says that laughter is a language everyone understands. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kay. I'm on Abenaki land, commonly referred to as Vermont. This proverb, definitely laughter doesn't need to be translated. It's contagious and seems to be rooted deep in our brains. Humans don't need to be taught how to find humor, nor how to share their joy. There seems to be a characteristic of discovery and surprise to humorous situations, which I think can contribute to the joy that we find when we experience humor. In the purest form, laughter is easy, enjoyable, contagious, and it spreads smiles. Smiles are easier to hold than frowning, which needs more muscles in your face to maintain. So if you want to relax, smile. Thanks.
You're most welcome. Thank you again for your contribution, Kay. Chioma is taking notes. She's going to reflect on everything everybody was saying. But now we want to go to Royal. Royal, how are you doing? It's wonderful to see you. Share with us your thoughts on this proverb that says laughter is a language everyone understands. And also let us know where you are joining us from. And, feel free to comment on anything that inspired you from today's conversation.
Hello. I'm great, and I'm in the East Coast, in the U.S., the tri-state area. And how I feel about the topic? Well, laughter to me equals happiness, and happiness equals freedom. I'm sure everyone in here been, to a certain point in their life where they're, spiritually bounded, where you feel like you can't let go of something. You're just upset about something, let go of it. And then all of somebody said something or you seen something and you just burst out in laughter. And that's where it's a release, and then that's where you quickly forget all your troubles. And I feel like the soul is like letting you know, like, hello, I'm here. Like, I want to have fun. I want to play. I want to live. I want to thrive. So that's what it means to me. And, thank you for asking.
Wonderful. Thank you again. I just love your perspectives. Chioma is also smiling here. I want to hear what you have to say in just, recapping everything that our contributors shared. And also, Chioma, share with us at the end how we can all support your incredible work and stay connected with you.
Okay. All right. So, first of all, I just have to say, y'all really just had me smiling and laughing the whole time. And I'm just really grateful. Um, it was definitely a sign. I was like, all right, Chiam, we need to laugh some more. So, thank y'all so much. Just made me feel good. Um, some takeaways are things that like stuck out to me. Simply, you said, the thing about laughter is actually like what stands out about laughter is the language within the laugh that says we agree right now, and that sort of opens up a doorway for us to like build upon that. So I just thought that was really beautiful. Like, this, we're in agreement in this moment because we're both laughing together at something. um Lavender, you just said I want to be around people who make me laugh and smile, and I feel that heavily. Um, BB, I just love the stories that you share all the time. You're really great at sharing stories. I'm just imagining someone laughing while giving birth, and I'm just like, how is that a thing? But I think it's beautiful, and I can imagine that in some ways kind of helped with the pain a little bit, or at least distracted you from it. Brother, I like how you always say things. You said, when you laugh, there's something that vibrates in you, touches a place you can't touch physically. And then you mentioned how laughter is oftentimes used as like a sweetener, to like really sort of like take down social issues, specifically when comedians use it. And I just thought that was really interesting, sort of like laughter as this sort of like sweetness, to like digest things. Stella, I just like how you talk about your dad, and I highlighted laughing in steps. Because just that like imagery, laughing in steps, and like how y'all had to like wait till he was finished. Kay, what stood out to me is you said laughter um makes people smile, and smiling is easier than holding a frown. And I was like, that's so real, because if I even do that in my body right now, I can feel that. And Royal, I just like how you said laughter equals happiness, and happiness equals freedom. You said this, laughter is the soul letting you know it's here and it wants to have fun. And that really hit me. I was like, okay, let me go laugh and have fun. So thank you so much. Oh, and Debbie, the poet. Yes. I like how you said no woman, no cry, and laughter is a relief, helps us release. I just thought that was a bar, and that was really beautiful and true. So I think I got everybody. Thank you so much.
I love it. I love it. There's this thing. Well, whenever people want to take a picture, you're always told smile. And so everybody, especially in America, everybody is supposed to smile on every picture. And I realized that with children, they also always just come to you and say laugh. And they expect you to just start laughing. But what's funny is when you tell them laugh, they actually start laughing immediately. So if you really want to laugh and you have nothing to laugh about, just find a child and let them laugh, and you laugh together with them. It's like free laughing lessons, or free laughing igniters. The ways that you can ignite your laughter is really to find children and be around children and make them happy, create joy. Really, this is free medication. Laughter is medicine, and whoever gives you laughter is actually healing you. And really, that's how we are wrapping up our time together today. Really, Chioma, we have to also know? How do we stay connected with you? Where can we read more of your poetry? And how can we support you?
All right. So you all can follow me here on IG at chioma.sheri. So that's CHIOMA.SHERI. You can definitely support me in that way by just, taking a look at some of the pieces that I share, sharing them if any speaks to you, sharing resources. That's definitely been something that's been really helpful and kind of like wow to me, is that like, especially because of this daily writing, poetry writing, people have like known that this is the thing that I do. And so they see something related to poetry, and they'll send it to me. And that's kind of been such a blessing, or have just brought me warmth in my soul, especially at times when I'm feeling not so great. So that's definitely something you could do. Definitely keep coming to the space and supporting Simon, and honestly, just really supporting people doing great work and organizations doing great work. That is the way you support me. And yes, hopefully that answers everything, Simon.
It does, it does, it does. I want you to know how grateful I am to you, Chioma, for always supporting. You've been showing up every Wednesday for months now. Soon we are going to break a record together.
I know. I'm already breaking records, Simon.
Yeah. I'm so grateful. If we were in Kenya, I would probably get a chicken or a goat slaughtered for you. But one day, if you make it there,
Simon.
well, let me know, and I'll make arrangements. I'll make arrangements. But really, thank you, and thank you to all our friends and and family and contributors. Simply E, before we go, I just want you to have the final word today. How did we do, Simply E?
Oh, we did well. We did well. I think we're going to probably see people creating bridges or being a lot less, usually you don't block a smile or block a laugh, but I think people will find themselves being even more open after today, right? Thinking about, how much things can open up just from laughter. So I think we did very well, and I loved the two pieces that Chioma gave today, as well as the guests on stage opening up and giving a piece of their life and also some extra piece of poetry. So today was very beautiful. Thank you, Simon.
Thank you so much. And as we wrap up, Chioma, I know you have to go, but I want you all to follow Chioma on Instagram. Her handle is at chioma.sheri. She's going to share the 2 poems later on today. And so you want to catch that. You want to catch the other poems that she writes over there. That's one way to support her. She's, an uprising author too. So make sure we grow her platform before she writes those many books that she's going to be writing and publishing. So again, thank you, Chioma. Thank you, everyone. This is the end of our time together. And to everyone who is watching on YouTube, I see you. Today we have a lot of people watching, Chioma. I don't know if you realize that there are so many eyes on us today. And we appreciate you all, really. It's really, incredible that you took the time. So with that, we'll see you all tomorrow, same time, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. East African Time. Peace and love.
African father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okelo, live from Seattle, Washington.